What's going on? Want to talk here about the whole mythology of rocket ships. It's like they had these new rocket ships fly off, and they made all these like spectacular light displays in the sky. But in all actuality, it could be a wormhole or some kind of multi-dimensional. It's kind of like on Star Wars or Star Trek when they go into light speed. You see all this kind of distortion of light bending, space and time bending, and the reason that I even started thinking of this, and it was like because I thought of it before, but it wasn't time to tie it in. You got Church of America Illuminati card, that card, and it shows UFOs above churches, and there's this one lady with whitish, yellowish hair that worked for NASA. She was friends with this von Braun guy who made rockets for Germany, and it's like he was saying the last card was going to be, it's called Asteroid. There's another Illuminati card, that card, and I think the asteroid even is in the shape of a all-seeing eye pyramid. It's like the rocket ship, to me, it seems like it's almost like when the Vikings sent off a ship and they caught it on fire, and it was to honor a dead leader, or they'd even sacrifice some virgins on the ship as well. And they've done these rituals. It's even, look, NASA is full of Nazi occultists, man. That it was Operation Paperclip, and look, dude, it was a Hollywood CIA operation where they literally faked the moon landing. And the whole mythology of the ships was a Cold War arms race that was kind of real, but also kind of fictional. It was more or less kind of like hype, or at least what the public got was hype, and they were doing other experiments because they know more the nature of reality. They know if the Earth is a flat Earth or if it's flat inside of a dome, kind of more like one of those balls you shake with the snow in it. But it's like dude, with fireworks, they can make displays in the sky. They've been doing that for like literally the whole rocketry is from fireworks from China and India. Like they used to take these swords that had like basically bottle rockets in the handle, and they would shoot way up in the air and then fall on the enemy. And they're used always in celebration and in ceremony and ritual, like we do it on 4th of July. And dude, over in Formar Nature Preserve, there's a plaque on the Potter Road entrance, and it has the Gulf of Tonkin, it has the moon landing, it has the dates, it has World War II, D-Day, and 9/11 on there, all on this plaque. And it's like they're honoring and remembering every false flag. These are myths. It is a total myth that man was ever on the moon. All that stuff was propaganda to deceive the people, just like with War of the Worlds, when people actually thought it was Armageddon. This was conditioning. You had Reagan doing the Star Wars program, and this is a Manly P. Hall. He was a big fan of Manly P. Hall and the New World Order, 1,000 Points of Light. And this is one of the ways they was going to do it. It's Independence Day. It shows you their exact plan is. Independence Day is their plan. It's like an insider code. It's like an insider movie. Now going back and watching it, it is so generical, and like it's totally generic. But it's basically, look, subterfuge, deception, fraud, false flag. A false flag is when you don the uniform of the enemy and then go attack your enemy posing as someone else. The American Revolution or the Boston Tea Party is another example of a false flag. And it's so insane how this stuff just keeps overlapping, how much of this stuff is fraudulent. And it's like, I think when you see a rocket shoot off, it kind of looks like a fiery flying dragon. You know what I'm saying? In a way, it looks like a long snake worm that flies off into the sky. Where it's going, I don't know, because I just read in Job that it says that as the sky is like a in bronze mirror, and I think it's also in Zechariah. I think it says that God will make the heavens like bronze, but the earth beneath you like iron. It's like, it's very hard for a man to go up in the sky and stay there, and or to even swim and dive below the ocean. You can only go so far, but you got to come back up for air. It's same thing with mines and stuff like that. It's like you can go so far, but you can't go no further. And I think the reason why, look, the theoretical physicist Albert Einstein, why he was thinking of wormholes, really the reason I think that is not because it just came to him genuinely. It was like maybe he was privy to the fact that he was another paperclip type of a Nazi scientist, and basically they knew that the earth is in some kind of dome and you can't really get past it. It's like, go. That's why you don't see him talk about it no more, is because it was fake, and now they can't really cover the tracks anymore. They'll have to be exposed as liars. Just like evolution, man came from monkeys, yak bone yetis, and crystal skulls, and all these other false artifacts, fake artifacts. I think that's another Illuminati card, deck card, fake artifacts. But anyway, yeah, dude, they shoot this rocket into space, and it's a big penis. And even the way that they like, especially the 80s and 90s era rockets, they even had these separate rockets on the side that kind of resembled testicles. I mean, these guys are sickos. They're frauds. They're charlatans, magicians. Even though they are kind of, it is a real technology, like as far as weaponry and putting crafts up in the sky. Are they in space? I don't know. That's questionable. There has been all this elaborate deception forever, and it feels like we do live in an Oceania when I go look at a plaque in the public park, and every memorial is of a false flag event, a false reality. But anyway, because Einstein was privy to the fact that they couldn't really get into space, but theoretically, if you could create a dimensional like door to open, a portal, a wormhole, you could get past it and just instantaneously be transported from one point in the universe to another. You know what I'm saying? See, theoretically, if you can rip, or condense, it's like you squeeze two things together hard enough, eventually they'll bust. The same thing, if you pull them apart hard enough, they'll bust. It's like a bubble, air bubble. If you put your fingers on it and pull, it'll pop. If you push from each side, it'll pop. It doesn't matter. Or if you just go like this. But it makes a lot of sense. And that's another thing, the devil is the one who wants to get into space, according to the Bible. He wants to get back into heaven. And actually, an interdimensional gateway would facilitate that. And rocket ships, I think it's a total misdirection. It's false hope. It's like it's just like cryogenesis sleep, where it's a theoretical science, but it's really, if you look at it, it's just a occult religion like Egyptology, to trick gullible people who are afraid of death into donating their body to science and all their life savings into preserving some sweet nothing in your ear, some itching ear, Genesis 3:22, lies and deception. And same thing with this whole going into space, the freaking the breakaway civilization. These things are all like, they're contrary to what the Bible says, and they're all just vain imaginations gone wild, where people actually believe in it, invest all their time, their life's energy into these lies, like out of this false nationalistic patriotism, kind of like useful idiot gullibility. And it's really sad how many people believe in this stuff, and how, like, it was even in a false flag document from a think tank where they said they would blow up a ship and have mock funerals for mock military military personnel, and there are even fake families to go to funerals that weren't real, to trick the public and sway them in public policy and opinion. And all this stuff is really their fireworks, their props. I went to Kennedy, Cape Canaveral, and Kennedy Station Center, and seen they have the actual set, the prop in the building. And so it's like, and then you go and they show you these kind of New World Order, UNESCO type, global Marxist style, brave new technotronic, space, Star Trek, these fantasies. And once again, just like cryogenics, they're trying to tell people they'll send them into space, and time's different in space, so you'll last forever. It's more like stuff to trick man into trying to ascend and become a god-like figure. Literally, these astronauts were worshipped as idols, like falling stars, like the Watchers, and they were given that kind of. I could only imagine in those days when there wasn't no access to real information. The media was all there was, and people were gravely deceived by it. But yeah, just don't buy the freaking hype. And literally, the more you look into it, the more it looks like O'Connor did it. Like the matchstick men have struck again.